everyone, and welcome back to part 26 of the Klingon Romulan battle cruiser. Today we're going to do the decals. It's finally to decals. Getting those nice new decals that I got from JT Graphics to make this converted to the Romulan D7 battle cruiser. So I'm excited, so let's get started. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the wonderful world of decals. Yeah, we're ready to do. Well, I already started, as you can see here, but we are doing decals on the Romulan D7 battle cruiser. Now, I did this one off camera because I knew it was going to be a pain because of getting things lined up, and they're in three pieces. Each of these wings is a piece, and then the body is a piece. Plus, I had that hole with the wire. I took this piece off, so it was just the wire coming through. And then I cut this decal out, still on the backing paper. And then what I did is I lined it up, measured back, poked a hole through the decal, and then put the decal in water to soften it up. And then I had to slide it a little bit forward so I could stick the wire through the hole I made, and then lay it down and keep enough moisture here so I can still move it while this one was soaking, and get this one in so that way I can get these wings lined in. But this is this body part. I don't know if you look at the decal sheet, the body is a separate piece. So this body part wants to be on top because it has the black lines around the body, which gives the definition in the body, because the wings just have that non-black edge, so they actually tuck under. They can either tuck under, or I don't know if they're supposed to go right up against, but they fit where they come to each of these bends. That's where you want it to end, so I kind of judged it off of that, got it all sitting in there nice, and lifted that body part off and then tucked that underneath it. So I got all that tucked under. But you want to cut these decals as close as possible because they don't have a die cut. So you're doing all hand cutting, kind of like this. That's what it looks like. Oop. Well, that's going on next anyway, so if I hit water, it's fine. You know, they come like that, and I cut them out. This one's soaking. Doesn't take terribly too long for these to soften up. Yeah, and then I just had to squeegee all the water because I had a lot of water on there so I could move these. And I used a little bit of soap too, so things slide a little better. And I wish I would have got that in a better cut. Actually, I think it is. It's just that the decals, it looks like it's folded under. I don't know. It's just the very tip of it, and I don't think I can get it to set up. But there was some wrinkles, but as it dried nice and tight. So I'm very happy with that. Very, 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 very happy with that. And then what I had to do, since this here was just sticking, it was just a wire sticking through a decal, I had to give it a little bit of a grind because I added paint, and I think I did glue it the first time, but it slid right in there, you know, and I wanted to get this on as soon as possible because the wire, since I just made the smallest little hole because I wasn't sure exactly where that was, how much this was going to cover and where. But as the wire was moving, you know, it wants to spring to one side because it's magnet wire. And hopefully we can pull the rest of that wire back out. There it goes. Okay, that's all I want to know. Oops. Last thing I want to do is get more water on this thing to dry. Where was I? Yeah, I didn't want that just sitting there and it could tear the decal further than what this covers, so I wanted to get that in there. And that way it keeps the wire off it. And so basically I had to kind of just shove it down in there nice and easy and make sure that the decal stayed nice and tight. There's a little bit of a bubble, not much though. It might, when it fully dries, settle. But it's looking good. I couldn't be happier, to be honest, and that thing looks great. This whole ship's coming up pretty good. Hit some little light sandpaper before I do my final clear coat, which is going to be a flat. And then I got to make sure that my clear coat that I'm going to use, although I do have a lacquer side. Yeah, I do. I do have a flat clear coat lacquer. Maybe I'll use that because that's what he recommends, because he used a lacquer on the decals, and you definitely don't want to use the lacquer to clear these decals. You don't want to use an enamel on it. It'll react. Acrylic, okay, and another lacquer, okay, and we're not and according to instructions, we're not 100% sure if an acrylic enamel would cause an issue. So, but I see a little like dust in the clear coat, and all you have to do is just give it a good scuff with some 800. So when we do our final clear, that'll work all right. But before we do too much on the top, I want to get these painted in because I need to mask them. I think when I did it the first time, I just ran a mask and then just took one piece of tape, put it right over top, and I used a Tamiya tape. It's real thin, and then I just took a razor blade and cut that out and just painted it silver. But I want to do that since I'm going to have the tape there, because these are going to go like that, and that's going to look so cool. Should sit right about like that. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with this. So let's get this one on. The feather tips curl forward. I thought they would curl backwards, but according to the picture, they curl forwards. If you can, I need to move this camera over to the other side, I think, because like I can never get light. But I don't know if you can see here that they curl this way. So let's get some like to get a little moisture on the body. And I'm going to dip this one more time because I like it to be a little bit wet too. And let's see if we can do this. Keep on trucking. There we go. And I love these little pointy ones, but I should probably move to a different one because and it's the fun of lining these two tips up. And boy, they are not perfect. Close though, very close. And that's because you just got to get it to touch. But there's still just a smidge it off. So I'm going to have to kind of come with a way to kind of break the difference or split the difference. If you come too far down on the other decal, it makes them worse. So you want to be right at the edge. They should have made it so it kind of went over it. But I think that'll work. That's the best you're going to get out of that decal without seeing a seam. We don't want a seam. There we go. I'm going to leave it like that. That looks good. Kind of split the difference. Yeah, and that wingtip's coming quite close, but there you go. Love it. So happy I ordered these. So I'm going to use this here because it's a little more, oops. This little cutting board's got a lot of super glue on it. But yeah, I go in here and I cut as close as I can. That way you have less backing paper. That's going to cause a weird lump on the model. I'm going to straighten that cut out better in a bit. I wish I had tiny scissors, but I don't. Go in here and get rid of this. But I know you gotta be careful because you can damage these. As you can see, I got a couple of black areas that need to get touched up, and I'll just hit those with paint. Get this one wet. I might have caught the tip of that one just a hair. And believe it, everyone, I love these kind of flat tweezers for decals because you don't have this point that wants to press into that decal and stuff. A lot of times I use this, but that's when you have a die cut and you can say this was die cutted. I can just do this and I don't have to worry about holding it closed, and then I can just worry about sliding that decal off because this holds it, but it had too much pressure. So. Alright, how are you making out there? See if it's starting to. Nope, still waiting a little more. But we can pre-wet this. The soap definitely helps it move, especially for this big wing. That was, to lay it down, it wanted to fold and crinkle up, and I was still able to hold one end and just pull, and it would. And I didn't know how fragile they were because they're really thin. But that's nice because, especially when it's going to come to this head, and I'm hoping I can get to this head. That's the head I want to use because that makes it the bird of pain, and these were designed by John Payne. So that's the head he originally designed. But like I said, we still have this one, which I would be happy with as well. Or we have this one, which would be real easy to get over to the bulb part of the Cobra because it's just one single stripe kind of a head. Which looks cool too. But I like these bigger feathers that stick out. And I really like the big feathers on this. I don't think it'll be that bad. Maybe right there. Where those got a crease over. We'll figure it out. But I think if I get in there and get every feather here, cut right into there, and get all this backing paper, this whole outer perimeter completely cleared, and then I want to clean this up too. So that gives it some folding. I think we'll be fine. Are you loose? Yes, you are loose. Let's get you away from water. Let's move you over so we don't scratch. Cat hair is trying to get in under my decals, that's for sure. Cat hair, and the only bad thing I find about that brush is that brush will leave hairs too. This brush that I'm brushing water on with. Alright, let's see if we can get you to move. You're being a little bit stubborn, not much. We'll have to do the same with this one as we did with the other one. Let's try to split that difference, but I think the other one came out a little. Careful there, there's the edge of the black wants to come off. Yeah, I'm liking how that's sitting. Get it to move up just a hair. I see a little bit of a wrinkle. But that's kind of alright because from this side, the wing overlapped the. Also, this side has dried for a little bit. But there you go. I wonder if I can get that wing to pop up and get the. carefully. Just work water up. There we go. That worked better. You would kind of want to let the wing flop over top of that one. Just a hair. And I got rid of the majority of that white edge. And we'll take once it shrinks and dries, it should shrink a little better, tighter, and we can put some solvent there to get it fit tight. But that is what else goes in the bottom. Oh, we got her upside down. Oh, and then we got a lot. We got the head, we got the neck. So, it looks like you guys, let's get you cut out of there. I don't need you to. But I'm just going to cut you because you're in a straight line. I don't think I need these two for that. I think these are an additive. I think I could just put that guy there, and that's the end of the story. Yep. The other one's to add something to this other head. I think you put that under behind them. Yeah. Or, no, it's that. I don't know what that is. To extend something. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of something that fits in between something. I guess it's extras just in case you need them to extend something, or. But I don't believe need those, so goodbye. And this one here, I'm not going to have to go in between each feather, but we'll just ride right up that along the edge of the tips. Real tight. Even tighter than that. As tight as we can get without losing any of the black lines. There we go. And we'll completely get this real tight. So it's going to have to sit up against that. And we'll take this and we'll cut that angle off. Bunk. Bunk. Now this part I'm going to have to use razor blades. It's nice to use scissors when you can. And I can use these for tests for the clear coat. Because I do, the flat I have is a acrylic enamel. So I'm hoping the acrylic part of it, but that's one of those things where he said he's not sure about the acrylic enamels, how they would work. Just don't you put enamel on it, or you can risk damaging the decal. There we go, nice and tight. That should be nice. Get you in some water. Let's sit there for a couple seconds. Let that paper change color, which means it's absorbing. And see, the nice thing is you don't have to squeeze with these flat ones. You can just kind of hold them together and It helps hold it. There, with that, do its magic. Is there anything else we can prep? We gotta figure out what goes here. There's number 8. There's 2 number 8s. And a 14. Excuse me. But I think they're all exact, to be honest. I'm not seeing much of a difference. I hate when you can't pick up a decal. You don't want to fold them or do anything weird. Yeah, there's absolutely no difference. So it don't matter which ones these we use. Because they'll be here and on the other side and up front on there. So let's cut these. Let's see if I can do it with scissors. While we're waiting for that to soften. See, it's hard because you gotta curl the paper to get it to make a curve. I don't want to do that. I want to get rid of as much of that paper as possible. There we go, and we can just cut them up through this. Get rid of that so I can curve better. There we go, that looks good. Is that one? Sometimes you just gotta cut it in little pieces so you can make that curve. There we go. See, the nice thing about die cuts is I could have dipped those at the same time. But alright, I think we can probably start getting this prepped with some water. Loose. Right. So we'll just do that like that. And get a light little tie. There we go. Now this is going to be fun because we got to center you. More water. That's not gonna, oh, that's gonna be in my window area. I see that already. That's kind of interesting. Well, okay, everyone, here she is. She is fully decaled, and I put a clear coat on over it to seal it. I just have her temporary on the stand. Actually, I can take it off. Easier to see. But, yeah, everything came out good. Flames up here came out good. I do wish they came down a little further, but that's where the seam is, and that's as far as it goes down. But I kind of like it like that too. Got the decals on the nacelles. They go on both sides. And the bird underneath came out really good. There's a little scratch in the black there. I did have to touch up spots on these bigger black tips. I think for me trying to cut around and holding the decal down with my, either my thumb or thumbnail or something hit it and gave it a scratch. But I touched them up with a little bit of paint before I put the clear over, and you can't even tell. Not at all. I touched up a little bit of the orange, and that came out really good. I touched up a little bit of black and orange, this orangish brown or whatever you want to call it. And I can't believe how well that matched. Like, I don't even remember where. I just know it was here somewhere. And here too. It's gone. The head part came out really nice. Happy with that. I see one little wrinkle there, but that might still settle. I painted around the mouth because the decal doesn't go right up to the size of the hole there. So I just took some paint, and actually it was quite down here, and just took some paint and just went around the edge and then kind of blended in on the black of the decal. So I was worried you would get that shade difference. Like you would see the black here would be different than the shade of the decal, but that black craft acrylic, it worked good. It blended right in, but like I said, I did lightly with just almost like a dry brush into the decal part to kind of try to blend them in, but yeah, you can't even tell at all, and that looks really good. Went with the white decals for the windows, so they're definitely going to be hard to see on camera because they'll never get the light right, but I have to drill those window holes out there. I think the only window holes I need to drill on this one are those, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those 10 right there are the only ones I'm going to have on. I'm not going to do the 3 there because I have the 3. The ship already comes with these pre-drilled. And I got the windows there, which they're going to be hard to see. And I got the windows here on the side. That's what made me really go with the white windows. Because if I would have put the black dotted ones here, it really would have clashed with the neck feather decal. So you can see now these windows here better in the white than the black. And in the black decals I did have, they had smudges on some of the they weren't perfect, the ones for back here. And I guess I could have went with black here or white here and then the blacks up front, but I wanted it to be a little different than the Klingon one. The Klingon one I did all the blacked out windows. So, and I like it. It looks really good. Because now you see the little black trim around the white, the windows, so. These holes will look blacked out once we drill them, just like these holes look blacked out. And then we got to get some filler in there. And then we can clear it, and then we can finally get the pieces on. But I just wanted to do an update on what she looked like. The decals up there look good. The ones down here in the neck. Everything seamed up really nice. A little something there I might touch up. It's like a color. Might have been something like I had a dirty finger or hand or print or something. And then I think I'm going to touch up the silvers again once I do the flat, to just bring them to a shine. The silver I use is not really shiny anyway, so. But we will see. And I think only clear I have is a clear lacquer, a flat lacquer. So I got to do a test too. I want to make sure it's not going to react with any of this stuff. It shouldn't. But I'd hate to do all that, and if I just do a quick test, which I should do real quick, go get a plastic spoon, paint this gray on, hit it with the clear that I used, and then see if I can hit this lacquer on top. I know the decals should handle it because they actually need to be sprayed with either an acrylic or a lacquer. And I believe this clear is an acrylic enamel. But it didn't react with the lacquered sprayed. But yeah, and then I want to get the decal on this that I got from off of this kit for the Romulan warbird. Yeah, it comes with a sheet, a bunch of these newer-ish Romulan birds, you know, for their actual symbol for the Romulan Empire. So I'll put one of those. I think I'm going to go with just one. I don't know if I want to do one on each side or just one in the front. It'd be cool to have one in the back, even with the switch and the thing. I could pop them out because they're not glued. They're just snapped in there, and that one's screwed on. I could always put the decal and then cut the decal out for that. So maybe that might be what I do. Just have it on the back and front. But yeah, but it's looking good. It's nice to finally see her in her colors. It definitely does. And to see that Romulan bird on the bottom, it really came out really good. Very happy with it. I went with the feet with the white claws. I just think it looks better. It makes the claws stand out, that danger. And then the claws kind of match the bird beak, so which makes sense. Yeah, and then we can get all these parts glued on here. So we have a little piece of touch up there too. Just a little dirt. Hit it with a little sandpaper before I do my last clear. It'll come out. I can see it's just in the clear. Yep. But yeah. But till then, well, next time I come back, I think we'll just have her all ready to do a full reveal for it on both of them. So I appreciate you watching the series, and till next time, thanks for watching.